Area. And immediately firing off an attack, getting in on the leg, but he's going to get taken through. That's going to be 2 points for Braxton.
Yeah, Amos has been just tossing people left and right. Check out the highlights. We've been trying to bring him to you. He's been a highlight reel all tournament long.
Hello, everybody. Jenny, Bernie, Terry, Gary, Kim, Dale, how y'all doing? Hello, everybody, and MOV, what's happening? How y'all doing? Hey, Steve Scully, what's going on, buddy?
South Parkersburg, West Virginia. This is Robert's Report, your leader in combat sports and rock music. And now, your host of Robert's Report, Craig Vegas.
Whoa, we cut it off here a little bit too soon, but that's all right. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Robert's Report. Good rainy Sunday evening. It's, I think maybe might be jinxed. It might be my fault because we bought a boat. So we bought a boat and it starts raining. It's probably going to rain now for the rest of the season. Scott Martin, if you're on here, you tried to warn me, but that's all right. We got one anyway. But I hope everybody's having a great Sunday evening and still maintaining your, hey Gary, how you doing, man? Hope everybody is still maintaining their social distancing and trying to get over this whole virus thing. We had, I see Jeff Totten was popped on there. We'll be talking to our guest here pretty soon. It says, "Sup, Braxton, congrats on a great high school career. Good luck next year." Last week we actually had a miscommunication that came up with Eric Boatwright. We do have that rescheduled for next weekend. So everybody can come back, and we'll have Eric Boatwright from Shallow Side, which, by the way, is Shallow Side has been with us now for 3 years since the very beginning of we started this podcast, and we appreciate them graciously letting us use their songs as part of our opening screen there, and also Code Red Riot, which is based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Those of you who don't know who Code Red Riot is, if you heard of otherwise, Corky Gainsford is the lead singer for them now. Actually, that's his band. He's the founding member, and he put the band together, and they're doing quite well. They're working on some new material. Obviously, everybody's in lockdown right now. Support them if you like what you hear from them. Go on Amazon, download their music, and buy some stuff from them. Because anybody in the entertainment world right now are having a rough time. Several tours are canceled or postponed, of course, and we like to support them. Actually, there's a few of them. I know Adelita's Way is one of them. They've been doing some live shows, and you can go in there and donate to them to help them out. Other things, while we're talking entertainment and rock, there's been some speculation that the stadium tour that may or may not happen. There's still no confirmation on that yet with the Motley Crue, Poison, Joan Jett, and Def Leppard. So we're still waiting to hear what happens with that. Ours is in August. I'm not real optimistic right now since most people are reporting that 2020 may be a wash for concerts for the rest of the year. So we'll have to wait and see. And let's see. Oh, Ticketmaster after the big announcement across the news waves there a couple weeks ago with Ticketmaster, where they weren't giving refunds for concerts or events that were postponed or whatever. They're supposed to give people the option as of May 1st. That was something that they just had come out in the last couple of days. So you have a concert that was moved and you can't make it. You got your tickets for sale. You might be able to get a refund. Keep watch on your email, and around May 1st, you should be getting some kind of information on that. And in combat sports news, April 18th, there was supposed to be a fight. UFC 249 was supposed to go on. Originally, it was supposed to be Ferguson versus Khabib. And this is the lineup now for May the 9th for UFC 249. Unfortunately, we're not going to have a man cave party, but we might be having a party of ourselves in the man cave because we will definitely be watching this card. This card is stacked. I'm sure since they haven't had one for a while, they were able to pretty much pull whoever they wanted to other than Conor McGregor or Khabib. So you can take a look at that. And go see that on May the 9th. Well, you can't go see it. They're going to be in Jacksonville, Florida, but you'll have to do it by pay-per-view. But without further ado, here we have a special guest here, and I've got to get my screens all together here. And he has quite a resume. The one that there's several here that biggest one stuck out. I had it on the title of thing there. Three seasons, AAA undefeated in wrestling, high school Powerade and Ironman championships. The state's first time back-to-back and multi-time of getting the Robert R. Dutton Award, which is given annually to the best in the state. And there's also a couple online, intermat.com and say that real fast 3 times. Mascot.com named him for Wrestler of the Year. And I'd been trying for quite a few months, actually, been trying to touch base with Braxton. I was glad I was finally able to get him, and we were able to get him on in the studio here virtually. Welcome, Braxton Amos. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad to have you. Glad I was finally able to connect. You're a busy guy these days.
Yeah. It was.
You're sort of the local celebrity here when it comes to wrestling. I mean, I know there's a Braden Roberts, which has done pretty well here in the area as well. But I am a river rat, so I haven't had Braden on here, so I have to support the South. So maybe we'll get Braden on here. I still like to support Parkersburg because I am actually, a lot of people give me a hard time, but I'm a West Virginia in general fan. So I watch Marshall and WVU, and people give me crap for that, but so be it. But I'm glad to have you, and so I guess kind of like to start out here with, what's your influence on what got you into wrestling? Because I went flipping back through some of your pictures, and I seen some, junior high and pre-junior high. And what age did you start?
So I started wrestling at 3 years old. When I first started, though, I initially started really interested in like WWE and all that. And the local club was passing out flyers to like the preschool or daycare or whatever I was going to at that point. Mm-hmm. And I brought it home. I was like, hey, can I try this? It looks fun. I just fell in love with the sport.
Yeah, see, I've been taking jiu-jitsu here for a couple years now, off and on, and it's kind of the same concept in some ways not. I mean, I watched a couple of your videos here before. Actually, I was using a couple of your videos for promo, and watching some of the moves on there. I was trying to catch some pointers there, but I don't know if I'll be able to do some of them things that you were doing. I'm 48, and how old are you?
I'll be 19 in, what's today? I'll be 19 in about a week and a half.
Oh, early happy birthday.
Thank you.
And so basically you were influenced by flyers and things. What a lot of people may not know, that your dad was quite the wrestler.
Yeah. I think he wrestled up until 9th grade is when he stopped. So it's
yeah, I followed. I didn't follow it real close, but I knew I had several friends, or I shouldn't say several. I had a few friends that were wrestlers, and so yeah, I did know that. And that's what kind of when I seen you were getting into wrestling. I was like, oh, here we go. Yeah. So your dad, has he been able to help, or did you kind of catch or pick this up all on your own, or what?
So originally I started out with the Junior Patriots Wrestling Club. There was a lot of great South wrestlers that come through there. Sean Smith, who's my coach now, David Jeffries, Bryce Gaynor, Dylan Cottrell, Josh Fisher were both there, both Dutton Award winners. Jake Smith, who went on to wrestle for WVU, went there. Hunter DeLong, who's at WVU now, went through there, and just a bunch of other really good wrestlers from South Side went through there. That's where I started. My dad, after a first year or two, he started helping. After I started wanting to go outside of the state and wrestle at national tournaments, we did that for a while, and then I started needing more training partners because all my training partners were going to middle school. Second or third grade, we found a guy by the name of Moran Karchalava up in Dublin, Ohio, right outside of Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been with him. My dad still helps a lot. He does everything he needs to do to get me better, whether it's make sure I'm up for a morning run, or make sure I'm eating right or lifting. But now it's just kind of making sure I'm doing all the right things, going to the right places, being where I need to be, and doing what I need to do.
You seem like a very disciplined 19-year-old as well, and very, very mannerly, and which, that obviously I'm sure comes from the roots of your parents. They've done a great job on raising you, and I just wanted to kind of point that out, though. But so just a quick shout out to all the cheeseheads out there. You're going to be out in the land of the ice and cold here's so sometime soon. I think you said you were supposed to leave on March 1st, but you going to be, is it University of Wisconsin, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So just out of curiosity, why did you pick Wisconsin? What pointed you toward them?
I had them. It was down to them, Penn State, Oklahoma State, Ohio State, and Virginia Tech. I just thought it was the best fit for me. Their coaches are super tough. They're great coaches. Their nutrition. Their nutrition department is awesome. Strength and conditioning is awesome. Madison's just an awesome place to be. It's the best of every world you can think of. I just think that I can be the best wrestler I can be there, and they have one of the best engineering departments in America, so that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I meant to ask as well. What are you? Is that what you're going into? Is it some kind of engineering then for?
Yeah.
Academic?
Yeah. I'm going to try to get a bachelor's or master's in engineering while I'm there.
What type of engineering has? Electrical or?
I have no idea yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. I did click on before we started this too. I went on. They actually shared your promo. The wrestling page did, and I went over and clicked on it. And yeah, they're pretty hardcore on their wrestling. They've got a lot of national recognition for their wrestling program. So
yeah,
definitely looked like a good choice there.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So when are you supposed to leave now then? Or is it all up in the air, I guess, since the
It's all up in the air. They're the coaches are waiting on the university to tell them. The university's waiting on the governor to tell them, and the governor's waiting for doctors to tell them when it's good. So, it's just kind of a holding pattern right now, and it's tough.
So how have you been coping with this whole COVID thing on as far as training? And I mean, do you have a gym at your house and stuff, or where do you normally go to?
I usually I've been lifting at a guy's gym for the last, I'm gonna say 7 years. And he's keeping social distancing and everything. But he'll let us come in one at a time, make sure we clean everything. It's taking the precautions, but also keeping things open so we can get better and just stay in shape to the best we can.
Do you find yourself having a hard time finding people to train with that are, I mean, that are, I hate to say this, but do you find hard finding enough competition to train with? I mean, what is your training regimen, I should say, when it comes to your mat work? I mean, what's
so like last summer, I was at the Olympic Training Center for a month before the World Team Trials. After that, I was training with a lot of the guys in the room, a lot of the coaches back here. And after I came back from Guatemala from the Pan Am Games, I went on kind of a tour of just the colleges I want to go to. I went up to Penn State. I was within their regional training center range, so I went up there for a weekend. I went out to Oklahoma State for, I want to say, 2 weeks and trained with those guys, and then I came back and went down to Blacksburg for 2.5 weeks and trained with them. And after that, after Fargo, came home, took a break, started playing football, and then I just started training with the guys and coaches in the room through Parkersburg South.
And did you play basketball as well?
No, just football and wrestling.
Just football, okay. Wrestling, okay. I got you. So we try to stay interactive on here, and there's a few people. Randy Elliott says you're a class act.
Yeah.
And Jeff Totten again, he actually asked why Wisconsin. I think we just kind of answered that. And let's see, Kathy Blair, Andy Runyon, Braxton, good luck. You're a beast. You make us all very proud.
Thanks.
And Jeff Totten again, Big Ten owns collegiate wrestling. But so you've got quite the fan base here in Parkersburg and this area. And who have you got to meet anybody really cool that that you've been put in the position because of this, that that?
Yeah. So it's crazy the people I've met through wrestling. I've met
Any certain names that
yeah, so Jordan Burroughs, Kyle Dake, David Taylor, Kyle Snyder, Thomas Gilman. I've met all of the Greco Olympic team and national team. Outside of wrestling, the coolest person I've met by far, I had dinner with Michael Bisping on one of my official visits. Yeah, so it was, he probably doesn't even remember. Yeah. Yep. No, my mom and I went on an unofficial visit to ASU, and then Michael Bisping's kid was in getting recruited at the same time I was, and we ended up eating dinner with the guy.
Wow.
Super nice guy.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite UFC fighters as well, just because of um, his willingness to take anybody. I mean, he was one of those he's kind of like Cowboy Cerrone. He'll fight anybody, anytime, at any weight class, and he was he's definitely a asset to the sport, even outside. He's one of the best commentators, in my opinion. But that's pretty cool. I'm kind of jealous on that one because I'm a huge MMA UFC fan, and we've got to meet a few people. That's one of the ones that I haven't got to meet yet, though. Real good wrestler, Daniel Cormier, obviously an Olympic wrestler, and that kind of somebody just asked here. Rod Smith was asking if any thoughts around being Olympic, going Olympic, or trying out for Olympic team or anything.
I'm gonna try. It with everything going on now, I have no idea how the trial process or anything like that's gonna work. As of when they were supposed to happen, I hadn't qualified for the trials yet. But if they have more qualifications, I'm gonna try. It's a long shot, but why not try? And then I'm gonna try again in 2024 and again in 2028 until my body says stop or they stop having wrestling in the Olympics.
Yeah, I would really like to see them. I love wrestling in the Olympics, but I would love to see them bring some of the other, like jiu-jitsu, like I was talking about before, into the Olympics. But your dad wants to know who would win a battle royal between Mikey Sharp, you, and Matt Shamblin. Let's see, who would win in a battle royal between you, Mikey Sharp, and Matt Shamblin?
I'm definitely not winning that. I'm definitely not winning. I'll let Mikey and Matt figure that one out. I don't know, not me at all.
So I worked with Matt Shamblin for a little while, and I've actually been a pretty big fan of his. All the way from when he played high school football to now helping coach. And in my opinion, he's one of the best coaches. He's an excellent motivational person.
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah, he's something else.
So Jeff Totten's also wanting to know what your plans are following college.
Dad and I were kind of talking about that last night. And it kind of all depends on the success I have at the collegiate level. I want to try for the Olympics. And it takes money to train and to just live while you're training. So it's if I can be successful in college, hopefully stay in Madison, stay with the Badger RTC. If I turn out to be a bust, be an engineer somewhere, I guess. But I know where my goals are at, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's smart. I'm so glad to hear that. I definitely want people to reach their dreams and everything, but it's smart to have a fallback.
Yeah.
You may blow out a knee. God forbid if it would happen, but.
I mean, it's happened once. It can happen again.
Yeah, so that's
crazy things happen.
There again, discipline. I'm glad to hear that you've got your head screwed on straight there. Anything that would you consider going into any of the MMA? Are you an MMA fan as well, or just mostly wrestling?
I like MMA. There's a lot of wrestlers that have went through the MMA circuit. I don't know. It's interesting. The weights are set up for me to do it. 205 would be the perfect fighting weight, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have no idea. You know, I've never done any grappling other than wrestling. You know, I haven't really done any striking, so.
Well, I'll tell you, Pete, there's a jiu-jitsu guy that's making pretty good money right now by just doing combat jiu-jitsu. Gordon Ryan, you heard of him?
Yeah, yeah. He did a super match, I think, with a wrestler a couple months ago, I think.
Yeah, he just become a millionaire not too long ago through jiu-jitsu, and just bought a mansion. I just
That's
saw
awesome.
it on the news not too long ago. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Let's see here. Mike Bear says Braxton bum about not being able to meet with Katka.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's Hunter's a really good friend of mine. You know, I think our moms talk like every other week or something, something absurd. But you know, it's we were supposed to wrestle in Pittsburgh at the Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic. You know, it's a big fundraiser, you know, for charity up there, and they bring the best high school senior from each weight that they can, and pair them up with the best Pennsylvania senior, and make them wrestle and see who the best is. And you know, it's a great event. You know, I've went up there for years just to watch, and I'm kind of bummed that it couldn't happen. You know, it would have been fun.
I'd seen on one of the videos on your page there too, you were doing some flips and things.
Yeah.
Are you in gymnastics too? I mean.
No. So how that all came about was, you know, Moran preaches that, you know, since he's from the he came up through the Soviet Union wrestling system, and you know, he said that if you can't do a flip, if you can't control your own body, how are you going to control somebody else's? And you know, it makes a lot of sense when you start thinking about it. So you know, I went to gymnastics and tumbling for a little bit to be able to do a flip and do other stuff, and you know, it's helped my flexibility a lot. So it's you know, it was fun. It is fun.
So was there ever any thought to go toward football rather than wrestling, or was that just kind of not the same kind of love between it, or torn, or not?
You know, I love football. I love football a lot. You know, I love wrestling more. And, you know, I'm 5'11", 220 pounds. And, you know, the draft, I don't know if it's over or still going on, but no lineman is 5'11", 220 pounds. So, you know, I figure I can have more success in wrestling than I can football. And, you know, I love wrestling more than football, but if I was 6'3", 6'4", 300 pounds, probably
makes sense.
Yeah, probably putting on pads.
Yeah, makes sense. So Mike McIntosh is wondering if you're going 197 in college, and what is your natural weight?
You know, I'll be in 97. Hopefully all my years through college. When I was going through workouts during season, I was weighing out at about probably somewhere between 207 and 212. You know, eating whatever I want, Taco Bell, Wendy's, just not going crazy, but not watching what I eat.
Taco Bell, now you're speaking my language there.
Yeah. Now that I'm kept up all day, I'm a little bit heavier. But you know, once I get with a nutritionist, you know, start watching what I eat, start doing more cardio, and you know, get in their practice room where it's going to be a hard workout. No matter who I go with, the weight's going to fall off, and you know, I'm going to feel good at 197.
So are you in the gym every day?
Now, no. During season and before the world stopped turning, yeah, I was either lifting or wrestling almost every day. Whenever I wasn't lifting or wrestling, I was running.
Yeah, see, that's one thing I've noticed, or what I notice whenever I'm off. Even even in 2 weeks, you don't do anything for 2 weeks when it comes to cardio, and you go back,
Oh, yeah.
it's crazy how much just that short amount of time can make a difference. I'm scared what it's going to be like to get rolling around with somebody with 220 pounds on me again for jiu-jitsu. It's I was doing pretty good at when I saw it went down, and but we'll get back there though.
Yeah. Yeah. Once all this craziness ends.
So I kind of asked you a little bit ago, but what would be what do you consider as a normal let's go in a week's time. What do you normally do to condition yourself in normally whenever you're always obviously not on lockdown like right now?
Normally during season we would wrestle after school 5 days a week. Whenever we weren't competing on the weekends, deadlift and back on Wednesday, bench on Sundays, and just kind of do legs whenever we're not doing a heavy load of sprints during practice. Just whatever that day is, get in the weight room afterwards, and, recover whenever you need to.
You got some pretty good sized legs.
Thanks.
How much can you squat?
I don't know. It's we haven't gone heavy in a while. Especially, I'm kind of limited as far as spotting right now. So, it's kind of feel around, do whatever you can as far as legs go. At one point in time, I was squatting close to 500 for reps. I don't know where I'm at now.
Holy crap, that makes my back hurt just thinking about it.
Yeah, no, it was nice to get the weight up and down, but it was not fun after.
Yeah. So how long do you run for? How much do you run? I know you run on quite a bit probably, but do you do more distance or more like bursts or?
Definitely distance. I try to get about a 5-10 minute run in the morning, and then get a 2 to 3 mile run before dinner. That way, I just kind of it's more of a decompression thing than it is a conditioning thing at this point.
I gotcha. Yeah, let's see here. Stacy McCoy says, "Congratulations, Braxton."
Thanks.
And for those of you that just joined us, we are talking to Braxton Amos. Unless you've been living under a rock, he's quite the wrestler here out of Parkersburg. And if you all would like to ask questions of Braxton, just post them in the comment section there, and we'll get them over to him and hopefully get them answered to you. If you had, if you're going, I'm going to put you in the place of a mentor here. And are you currently mentoring? Are you teaching wrestling to anybody as well? I mean, you could definitely.
I was for a little bit. Between the end of the season and the stopping of everything on Earth.
Right.
I was helping out a couple younger guys. A couple were going into high school next year. A couple are going into middle school, and 2 little guys that just like wrestling. I was helping out them once or twice a week. just trying to get them ready to compete at the next level.
Do you know a Stu? I can't remember his Stu.
Morris?
Morris, there you go.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Stu real well.
Yeah, he's another one with some pretty good sized trunks.
Yeah,
Legs.
He's at basic, or was at basic.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, he was when I first started the jiu-jitsu, he was in my class. Actually, he was one of my frequent partners, and yeah, we started out together. So I'm sure he'll come back. He'll definitely be able to kick my ass with the basic training and everything.
Yeah, it's.
But so if you had a statement that you were going to, if you had somebody come up to you today and somebody wanted to get into wrestling, what would you? How would you tell somebody to start? You know what I mean? That if you had to, how you excuse me, how you started out. So you're gonna be the influence on somebody. What's going to be your recommendation?
When you're starting out when you're young, just make sure you're having fun while you're doing it. It's I didn't get real serious until I started getting into time to start training with Moran and starting to compete at national tournaments and stuff. Just make sure it's fun. If it's there are going to be times where it sucks. Over the last however many years I've been wrestling, it's make sure it's good memories. Because it's you get a limited time in the sport, and to make the most of it, you got to have fun. You got to work hard. You got to push through the tough times, but just make sure it's fun in the end.
Right. Somebody's asking, would it be hard to wrestle Robies? I'm not sure what that means. Would it be hard to wrestle Robies, and how do you match up against Macho Bob?
Macho Bob.
Is this this must be a joke, I guess.
Who asked?
Mike Sharp.
I don't know. I don't know what he means by Robies, but Macho Bob is a friend of mine. He came in and worked out with me once or twice, and he's a good guy to me. He's been awesome to work out with, and just talk to and be around.
And your Kristen Graham is asking, what's the plan as a freshman to redshirt, get into action right away?
The plan is right now to redshirt. It's been interesting just to kind of see what the NCAA has said as far as what redshirts can do and what they can't do, and what we're going to be allowed to do this season. It's still up in the air as far as if they're going to have NCAAs or anything like that. So the plan is right now to redshirt and just kind of just weather the storm of coronavirus.
Right. And Mike said Anthony Robies. Robles, I'm sorry. Actually, I read it wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't know how I would wrestle him. I'd have to think on that one.
So, are you going to become a Cheesehead fan? Or are you going to be a Packers fan, or?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to jump on that Tampa Bay wagon for a little bit. It's.
Who do you like now? Do you have a football team now?
I was a Patriots fan there for a while. I like Tom Brady. So I guess I'm a Tampa Bay fan for a little bit now. But I wouldn't object to going to a Packers game when I'm up there.
How do you think that's going to work out with him and Gronk down there now? And that was an interesting
It was an interesting turn of events. I saw a tweet or an article or something and sent it to my dad. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're creating a super team and it's going to be awesome to watch. It's just going to be fun to watch and hopefully get down for a game or watch them play in Green Bay or something.
So wonder who's the real? I mean, we got a couple winners there now because the Patriots obviously that put them in pretty good position, even with getting rid of two basically retired players.
I don't know, man. Brady's he's something else still. He's I wouldn't count him out yet.
No, I agree with that 100%. Yep. So what's the somebody just put the goat down there, shambling. So do you have a favorite MMA fighter?
Not really.
Do you watch UFC very much?
I watch it whenever I can. I don't get to watch a whole lot of pay-per-views, but I'll watch bits and pieces whenever I can. I like Khabib, just from watching how he trains, how he carries himself. I like him a lot. Cormier, I like DC a lot. I like John Jones, how he fights. His out of ring stuff, I don't know.
Yeah, see, I like Cormier too, but I mean, a lot of people don't like him because of the whole Jones and Cormier rival thing. But man, he's he's been such a good person for the sport.
Yeah, and I like Ben Askren a lot too.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun training up with Ben, and he's the RTC coach up in Wisconsin, so it's going to be fun training with him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you talked to him yet? I mean, or haven't met him yet?
I've met him at tournaments. I've never actually gotten to train with him yet. So the NCAA doesn't let anyone. It was 250 miles. I don't know what it is now. So anyone inside 250 miles can train at what they call a regional training center. I'm further than 250 miles away from Wisconsin, so I couldn't train with Ben or any of those guys until after I signed. And then
interesting.
Now that I signed, we only got up there. I've only been up once since I signed, so it is what it is. I'm gonna have five, hopefully more than 5 years with those guys. So it'll be all right.
Man, I was so pulling for him in UFC. I was hoping that we'd have another, because he's one of the best smack talkers.
Yeah.
He's still a hell of a wrestler. I mean, that's his game is wrestling. So.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And he's off of the MMA personality. He's a super great guy. I mean, he's a great guy. He's done a lot for the sport.
Yeah, I just wonder if either he tried MMA too late, or if maybe it was just not the best MMA team or something or other that was behind him. I don't know. It just never did seem like he really.
I don't know. He ran through one there he was undefeated through one fight championships.
Right.
He got in the UFC, and he beat who did he beat? Robbie Lawler, who's not bad.
Yeah.
And got caught against Masvidal.
That was a freak thing. I still think I was lucky. Masvidal's a good fighter, but I still.
Oh no, he's a great fighter.
I think that was still a lucky shot, though.
Yeah,
I mean who'd have thought?
Who runs whose first move is let's run across the ring and try to knee someone in the head. Nobody saw that coming. He got submitted by one of the best grapplers ever to go through the UFC. So it's he didn't do too bad.
Yeah.
I don't think.
So what else do you like to? What else do you do besides wrestling? What do you like to do? Black ops or anything like that?
I play a lot of video games right now.
That's a common thread, I think, now.
Yeah. I've gotten uncomfortably good at Call of Duty. I like to get out in the woods whenever I can. I like to hunt. I like to shoot. It's just just be in the woods and play video games. That's about it right now.
So I saw this one picture. We got where you stabbed a pig or something or other. Did that?
Yeah. Man, how old was I when I did that? I was young. But my dad was like, all right, we need to do something to, have father-son bonding. I was like, let's go hunting. He's like, all right, what do you want to do? He's like, you want to go get a pig in Florida? I was like, yeah, who does? I mean, that sounds like fun. Why not? And we took a road trip down there. And, I got to stab a pig with a spear, which was kind of fun.
Did y'all cook it after that, I assume? Did y'all cook it up?
Yeah, we cooked it. It wasn't that good, honestly. I don't know what we did. I don't know if we cooked it wrong or what, but it wasn't that good. But it was a good experience. It was a lot of fun to go on a road trip with Dad and go hunting.
Yeah, I've heard that they're kind of on the greasier side, I guess, whenever they're wild like that.
Yeah,
I've never done it, so I can't speak for it myself. Was that?
Yeah, it's they're everywhere down in the south, so it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either.
So Cindy Burrows is asking, Mitch wants to know, given your dad's athletic ability in his prime, do you think you would have been able to beat him in a wrestling match or on the football field?
In a wrestling match, yes. On the football field, probably not.
He was pretty good size.
He was pretty good size, and they were coached really, really well. Against the type of linemen that we were playing this year, it was, we would have had trouble with their blocking scheme whenever he played. We've talked about that I don't know how many times, especially during season. I don't know how well it would have worked, but we would have. I guess we'll never find out.
No, not unless you can get him into maybe get a virtual Tim and one of the UFC games or something or other or football games down the road or something or other.
Yeah.
I mean, NASCAR can do it for tracks now, so why not? Should be able to upload a person for a virtual fight.
Yeah, I mean that's what they did for the high school boys basketball game or basketball tournament. They did a simulation game for each tournament. Yeah. I don't know where that was at. One of the basketball Twitter accounts or something set it all up, put all the stats in for. I think they put it on 2K or something, and did a simulation tournament. It was kind of cool. It was fun to watch.
That's interesting. Never thought it would come to that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I guess artificial intelligence is the winner there.
Yeah.
So Mitch Burrows and them, do you?
Yeah. I mean, their kids and I grew up together. Dad and Mitch have been buddies since high school, so it's just kind of we've been together since for as long as I can remember, at least.
Yeah, I'm supposed to DJ Holly's wedding.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty good people.
Yeah.
Actually, I did one of his class reunions, and he's, of course, you know him. I don't have to say anything else.
Yeah. 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 I love Mitch. I love that family. You know, they've been great.
Yeah. Well, Braxton, I do appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else that here's everybody's last chance here? We got quite a listening crew or fan base on here tonight. So if there's anybody out there that wants to ask any more questions, now'll be the time to get them on. Okay, 15 years ago, I beat Braxton at Call of Duty on his home Xbox. Corey Allen.
Probably. You know.
Yeah. But Kenny Cobb says, good luck to Braxton. Go get him.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of you myself. I mean, I'm so glad to have been able to get you for an interview on here, and I kind of got the feeling with the kind of discipline that you had, and now like talk to you, it's you know, I have no doubt that you're going to succeed and definitely beat everybody's expectations on, you know, where you're going. You've got a good head on your shoulders, and you've got great parents to lead you, you know, for questions anytime you have any kind of life questions there. And so yeah, I hats off to you, and I wish you the best of luck in your college career.
Thank you.
And Kathy Blair, Andy Runya said they just become Wisconsin fans. So I do appreciate you coming on this evening, and I always give everybody a last word. So if you had, I know you already kind of went into your, you had to give your inspirational speech right now. I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but I think you can probably pull this off. So here's your chance to be an inspiration to somebody out there.
You know, what I really would have to say is, you know, your zip code doesn't matter. You know, where you're from, what you come from doesn't matter. You know, you just don't let it define you. You know, if a lot of people were asked, you know, where would be, you know, what would some of the best wrestlers in the country be coming out of in 2020? You know, a lot of people wouldn't say West Virginia. And you know, we have a lot of guys coming out that are really good wrestlers. You know, just whatever you're going to do in life, try to be the best at it.
That's very good. Excellent. And once again, appreciate you coming on, and good luck to you. And you're always welcome to come on and, you know, just hang out and talk. The invitation's always there. So, you know, once you get into Cheesehead land there, and who knows, maybe I'll catch up with you there when I'm out there for work at some point.
That'd be awesome. You know, just let me know. You know, I'm thank you for letting me come on, and I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. All right. Thanks. Have a great evening, Braxton.
You too.
All right, everybody. So there you have it, Braxton Amos, and pretty bright young man there, and no doubt in my mind that he's going to go far in in whatever he does. Sounds like he's wanting to be some kind of an engineer at some point, and no doubt in my mind that will go over well as well. So, as I mentioned, next week we will have Eric Boatwright from Shallow Side back on here. He's agreed to sign back up. There was just a kind of a mix-up with our scheduling last week, and I do apologize for that, and he apologized as well. Wanted to reschedule immediately, so we'll have that coming up next week. And I think that is basically it, guys and girls. So I hope everybody has a wonderful Sunday evening and a great week. Try to stay dry. And hopefully we got May 1st coming up here pretty soon. Maybe we'll be able to open up in some places. Maybe we can all get back to the daggone gym. And I'm hoping Planet Fitness will open back up because I need that treadmill and I need those weights a little bit. So peace out, everybody, and I hope you all have a great week. Also, I've got stickers. If you all want stickers, send me your address in the inbox. I would gladly mail you a sticker to put on your car. I appreciate your support. Shout out to the cheeseheads out there. Good night, everybody.